So when you think about one of the most disrespected big men in basketball, of course, there's nobody other than Anthony Davis that comes to mind. In fact, I would say that Anthony Davis over the years has actually been treated like the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. On today's NBA Rundown, we are going to talk about what I believe is one of the most underrated monsters in the National Basketball Association. Yes, that's right, Lakers fans. We are going to talk about Anthony Davis. All right. Now, Charles Barkley is famous for a wide variety of reasons. He's also famous for the amount of grief that he's actually given to Anthony Davis. I'm going to play a super short clip for you right now from Charles Barkley from a couple years ago.
I call him Anthony Street Clothes Davis because he's always in street clothes.
So over the years, Chuck has actually gotten so much runway out of that particular street clothes line when talking about Anthony Davis. Now, in Chuck's defense, in 2021/22, AD actually only played in 40 games. The year before that, he actually only played in 36 games. The year after, in 2022 and 23, he played in 56 games. But I have to say, over the last year and a half, you have to remember, last year, Anthony Davis actually played in 76 games, which means he was in street clothes, Charles, for only 6 games. He's actually played in 40 of the 43 Los Angeles Laker games so far, and I have to say, Anthony Davis, as I mentioned, is one of the most underrated monsters in the association. Now, I have seen every single Laker game so far this year, and I can confidently tell you that without Anthony Davis on this team, well, quite frankly, this team would be at the very bottom of the Western Conference when it comes to the NBA standings. I'm saying they'd be hanging out with the Pelicans in 14th in the Western Conference without AD and the way AD has actually been playing. Now, this statistically is basically an average year, if you will, for Anthony Davis. He's averaging just under 26 points a game. He's averaging just under 12 rebounds a game, and he's done what he's done throughout his career from an assist perspective, and he's getting 3.5 assists per game. What's amazing, if you've actually watched a lot of these Laker games, is how dominant Anthony Davis has been on both sides of the court. It's actually one of the reasons I think Anthony Davis is often disrespected in the NBA by a lot of people in the media. Yeah, outside of those 4 or 5 years where it seemed to get injured just simply walking out onto the court, it is safe to say that a lot of people actually forget that AD plays both sides of the court at extremely high levels. Look, I absolutely love watching Anthony Davis play basketball. He's actually averaging 2.2 blocks per game this year and 1.3 steals per game as well. If you were to look at this overall Los Angeles Laker roster and just look at the box score, if you will, from last night's game against the Golden State Warriors, the Lakers ended up winning very easily. As Anthony Davis did point out in the post-game press conference, Draymond Green did not play. That being said, the roster, which of course includes Anthony Davis, who scored 36 yesterday, LeBron chipped in 25. The always reliable Austin Reeves had 16, 5 rebounds and 7 assists in the game. The improving Max Christie pitched in with 11, and Dalton Connect, the rookie, had 13 in the game. I do want to also mention that Gabe Vincent actually played fairly well for the 25 minutes he was actually given. He scored 7 points in that, and Jared Vanderbilt is working his way back into the roster. Look, Anthony Davis and LeBron James came out over the last 2 weeks in separate comments about how they would like essentially to see Rob Pelinka make some sort of move to help improve this Los Angeles Laker roster. A roster that is currently sitting in 5th spot in the Western Conference. Look, without Anthony Davis on this team, as I mentioned, they would be nowhere near where they're currently at. Now, they've won 3 games in a row, and we know that the Western Conference is so incredibly competitive at this point that you can win 3 games and end up in 4th or 5th, and you could lose 2 games and be on the outside looking in, where the Golden State Warriors currently are with a record of 22-23. But the Lakers are 25-18, which for you math wizards out there has them actually 7 games above 500, which means the statements that both LeBron James and Anthony Davis made about the Los Angeles Lakers maybe making a move or two before the February 6th deadline, I think certainly makes a lot of sense. Look, there's been a whole cottage industry that's grown up around ripping on Anthony Davis. It's always been my opinion that Anthony Davis was actually one of the top 4 or 5 players in the association in almost every single year. That being said, the disrespect that he continues to receive is certainly not justified. Ultimately, I know Lakers fans know this, but Anthony Davis is an absolute monster, not just on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side of the court as well. All right, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on Anthony Davis. I mean, look, the Lakers are currently in 5th. They are 2 games behind the Denver Nuggets at this point. We know that the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Grizzlies are all having fantastic seasons. The Clippers are right behind the Lakers, also having a good season. They're working Kawhi back into things. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves are starting to sort of figure out that if they play Rob Dillingham a little bit more, they will actually be a better team. Hey, if you haven't checked out our Rob Dillingham video yet, you should absolutely do that. All right, that's it for today for the NBA Rundown. I'm Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.